Pythagorean theorem is a formula that works for right triangles. So Pythagorean theorem is a squared plus b squared equals c squared. The letters themselves don't matter. What matters is what those letters or variables represent. A and B represent the shorter sides of the right triangle, and C represents the longer side. We call the shorter sides legs and the longer side the hypotenuse. Okay, so just keep in mind for these next few examples that this one's the shorter sides and this one's the longest side. That's going to be important for what we're doing in the first couple of examples. These notes have already been given to you, filled in with my writing, but I'm going to go through and explain them. So our goal is to figure out if each of these is a right triangle or not by using Pythagorean theorem. So our shorter sides are 7 and 8, and our longer side is 10. So we're going to call that C, and then 7 and 8, one of them can be A and one of them can be B. It doesn't matter which one. So now we're going to use our formula. We're going to go 7 squared plus 8 squared, and we want to see, I'm going to put a question mark over that equal sign because I don't know if it's going to be equal or not. We're going to see if that is equal to 10 squared. So 7 squared is 7 times 7, which is 49. 8 squared is 8 times 8, which is 64. And 10 squared is 10 times 10, which is 100. Let's go ahead and add these numbers together. 9 plus 4 is 13. And then 4 plus 6 is 10 with the extra 1 from the 13. So that would be 11. So 113. Now does 113 equal 100? No, it does not. So we say that they're not equal. And this is not a right triangle because Pythagorean theorem did not work. Go ahead and try a problem on your own with this. So stop the video now if you think you want to give it a try. If you need to see another example, then I will keep going. So again, this is the longest side, C. These are shorter sides, so we'll call them A and B. It doesn't matter which one is A and which one is B. So then we just use our formula, 8 squared and 6 squared. We're going to see if that equals 12 squared. So again, I'm putting the question mark over the equal sign because I don't know if they're going to be equal or not. In this case, my equal turned into a not equal. So 8 squared was 64, and 6 squared is 36. Those actually add up to 100 this time, which means if our other side were 10, then it would work and it would be a right triangle. But the other side is not 10, it is 12. So the other side is going to be 144. And after we add these together, we can clearly see that 100 is not equal to 144. So therefore, this is not a right triangle. Hey, here's a few more. Longest side is 10. Shorter, just barely shorter, shorter. So we'll call the shorter sides A and B. The longer side is C. So let's go 9.6 squared plus 2.8 squared equals 10 squared, except that we're not sure if it's going to be equal or not. I need to use a calculator for this one. You could use calculators for everything, but the other ones I was able to do in my head. 9.6 times 9.6, or there's usually a little button on your calculator that has a little 2 that you can use to automatically square things. So 92.16, and then 2.8 times 2.8 gives us 7.84. Together, these are going to add up to 100. Wow, look at that. The reason that interests me is that this side right here, which I didn't take the room to write out, 10 squared is 100. And so look, we got 100 on both sides. this is true. So that means that this is in fact a right triangle. My H doesn't look right. Right triangle. You could just say yes, because the question is it a right triangle or not? And the other two we did were no, and this one is yes. Let's try one more. So again, our shorter sides we'll call A and B. Doesn't matter which one's which. The longest side is C. So we do 16.8 squared plus 12.6 squared equals 21 squared. Let's go ahead and do our multiplication. 1.6 times 16.8 times 16.8 is 282.24. 12.6 times 12.6 is 158.76. Add those together and we get 441. And we're going to do that 21 squared. Well, look at that. 21 squared is 441. So at first we were questioning whether these were going to be true or not, but it turns out it is. So again, we can say yes, this is a right triangle. Notice how when I figure out it's a right triangle, I put a little box in the corner across from side C, because if it is a right triangle, then that side across, the angle across from the longest side will be a 90-degree angle.